Hello Dairy Today viewers, on behalf of the Market 360 advisors here at Stewart-Peterson, I'm Bob Devenport and this is your Dairy Week in Review from March 7th, 2014. So starting out with our CME dairy components here, it was another good week for cash cheese with blocks settling at $2.29 1/4, up 7 cents. Barrel settled at $2.25 even, up 5 cents. Cash butter settled unchanged on the week at $1.88 a pound. March whey settled at 63.5 cents, down 5/8 of a cent. And March non-fat dry milk settled at $2.02 even, down 3 5/8 cents. Going over to Class 3 futures, it was a pretty good week overall here with the March contract posting the biggest gain of 50 cents, finishing at $22.65. April settled at $21.25, up 40 cents. May settled at $20.25, up 18 cents. And that brings our 2014 average now well over the $20 level to $20.32, up 21 cents this week. So let's start out with what we saw in cash cheese here this week. It was actually a pretty volatile week overall. To start out the week, there were some sellers offering barrels lower, which put quite a bit of pressure on Class 3 futures. However, the buying interest did return on Wednesday through Friday, and that continued to support the block barrel average into Friday's close. So the average settled at just over $2.27 a pound here, and that's a gain of 6 cents on the week for the block barrel average. So going over to our second month milk chart now, this is a daily chart of the April milk contract, which has rolled into the second month stop here this week. So again, we did see a lot of volatility this week, however, with sellers jumping in and offering blocks and barrels lower during Monday and Tuesday sessions, put a lot of pressure on Class 3 futures. During Monday's session, the April contract sold off about 60 cents, and we actually saw some follow-through selling in Tuesday until we saw that price action reverse, and then we saw April and the remaining months actually rally through Friday's close. April was actually limit up 75 cents during Thursday's session and posted a gain of just shy of that, but nonetheless, we finished up the week at a new high this week of $21.25. Now that's a gain of 40 cents on the week here. So again, by putting in a new contract high, that does possibly open up the upside for some further gains now. And we'll have to see what cheese does next week, as that definitely continues to be the main driver of Class 3 price action. And as you can see here this week, we got a taste of volatility there that sometimes the sellers decide they want to sell, and the next day the buyers can come and bid it right back up 10 cents with no sellers even willing to jump in to counter those offers. So definitely has the ability to cause a lot of volatility in these markets here. So we got our January cheese production numbers out this week here, and it showed that January cheese production was actually up from last year quite a bit. It showed an increase of 1.6%, with total production coming in at 951 million pounds. So although we came in above January of 2013, we were actually down about 1.5% from December. So a little bit of a decline month over month, but still an increase year over year. And as you can see on this chart here, that increase is pretty much on par with what we've seen going all the way back to 2011. Now, just from the seasonal pattern that's present here, you can see that we'll probably see a decent drop-off in production in the month of February, but we should rebound pretty nicely from that drop-off going into March and hold on to those levels pretty steadily for the next couple of months following that. So we also had our latest Fonterra Global Dairy Trade auction on Tuesday of this week. And as you can see here, we saw that Global Dairy Index sell off quite a bit here from where we were at the prior auction. We were down 4% this week, and we're right back down. We found some support near these lows that were from a couple of months ago here, but we did come down from near record highs over the past few auctions. Now, although we did see the Global Dairy Index drop off 4% this week, the cheddar cheese price was actually up about 0.5% during this week's auction. Actually, the biggest loser of this auction and what really drove that global dairy index down was whole milk powder, which was down about 5.5%. Now that's the biggest decline we've seen in powder prices on the Fonterra auction in several months. Now I'm not sure how much impact that's going to have on CME powder, but we were down a couple of cents here this week. So if powder continues to find some pressure, that could bring down Class 4 prices along with it, which ultimately could take a toll on Class 3 prices as well. So something to keep our eyes on here as we go into that next Fonterra auction in a couple weeks. Looking at the week ahead, Monday will be an important day with USDA supply and demand report out, which could cause some volatility in the grain markets. So tune in to next week's video and we'll have a short recap of what that USDA supply and demand report brought to us. And that'll do it for us here today. On behalf of the Market 360 advisors here at Stewart-Peterson, thank you for watching and have a great weekend.